business is everyone's desire. Everyone wants to see their business ventures grow bigger into bigger platforms. If you are running a small, for example, a small enterprise, you would want to at least have a bigger enterprise, or you should say a medium or micro enterprise. But how you gain the money and how you keep that business afloat is what determines your fate of the business. And in today's Coffee Cup, we look at all these perspectives where we ask tough questions. This is Smart Means Business.
Tonight on the Coffee Court, we discuss the key pillars that constitute the success of a business. And I am joined by the Chief Executive Officer of Enterprise Uganda, Dr. Ochichi Charles. Of course, will be helping us to discuss matters that build but also kill business in Uganda. Doctor, it's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Very happy to be part of this program and really delighted to be talking to Ugandans on that subject.
I'm very passionate about business. Why?
I'm so passionate about business because it brings dignity, it makes a country strong, it makes any community to live it to its fullest talents the moment you're able to earn money and make a living. So one of the routes to do that is business or enterprise, because in enterprise we are not bothered about your age, your education, your existence of both legs, your English. We're simply saying, what are you selling? And if you're able to sell what you are selling and reward the customers will come back. When they come back, the business will grow and to reach a stage where that business is no longer just in one location, but in multiple locations. So that's the beauty about business. It's the only available gateway for everyone to come in and make your mark irrespective of your history.
Now that your passion is business, we no longer see them run as the BMKs that start business and over generations their business still thrives. What could be the constituting factors as to why many businesses collapse in Uganda?
Several of them, but one of those is inability to make a family transitional leadership. In other words, you have started this enterprise. You have a family, you have kids that you've taken to school, but you preserve them somewhere. They pursue that education route without ever getting involved with this business until they have finalized degree and then a master's degree, and when they have done that, you now say, you are now the financial controller. You are now the marketing manager. That's extremely wrong. Because the skills that matter are not the skills that you pick because you went through a university program.
Okay.
There are skills that you pick and use on everyday way of serving a customer. So lifting somebody straight to become a financial controller without them having built these skills over time is one of the ways we have failed to get family enterprises to cross transition from one family leader to the next family leader.
It's not enough. You've only talked about issues of family. Is that enough, Doctor?
It's principle. It is the main one. Why? Because as you start your business, you started that business when it was a one-person business. It has grown. Now it has got 20 employees. Now it is having a turnover of $1 billion. But you build your skills over time. If you do not allow the young one also to appreciate the same skills over time, you are setting up the young person for failure. He's starting off from a big school called Victoria Schools with 3 branches. But Barbara, the owner of those schools, started from two pupils and built it step by step. Now the school is 3 branches. If Barbara handed that school to a daughter, to a son, without preparing them, she's breaking their backs. But as you said, that's not enough. There are other things that come in.
What could be those?
We call them the 5 factors of achievement. The moment you achieve and you are beyond the average of anybody else, those 5 things will come and eat you up if you are not careful.
What are they?
Number 1 is failure to appreciate success in a manner that tells you that whatever success you've achieved, there was a customer. But if you begin to sing about I, watch out. You should be saying, my customers are coming, my customers are increasing, my employees are improving. Failure to appreciate and separate yourself from the enterprise. You are now intertwining the I and the business, and that in itself is going to be one major cause for your failure. The other one is failure to take advice. As you succeed, you now begin to receive that glory of appearing the most intelligent. Now, anybody trying to give you advice, you are saying, but what did you have?
Because the rest have not been fundamental in the development of this business.
You are being advised by an accountant who has 2 shirts, 2 trousers, and 1 pair of shoes. But this advice is spot on. But you are at a level where you feel taking advice is not part of your game anymore. So failure to take advice is a big one. The third one is unplanned growth and diversification. What is it that I call unplanned or unreasonable diversification? Somebody is telling you, you know, you should take another branch the other side. We can't drive all the way to this side. The moment you go for that without planning properly, in terms of human resources, systems, capital and everything else, you jump into that opportunity because you want the name.
And these are customers as well.
Yes. So if you check an SME or any business person who has failed, almost without a question, they had unplanned growth and diversification.
So how do you grow without the plan? Those two words seem to be contradictional to each other.
Let's take it this way. Your bankers have seen your account, how you are performing. Or you're saying, oh, Chichi, we know you. Why don't you take a loan and open another branch?
It's a good advice.
Good advice. But did you plan for it? And what do I mean by planning? The human resources, the systems, the leadership cannot be fully covered by just accessing a loan from a bank.
Maybe I didn't see that opportunity as an entrepreneur. So you're good enough to advise me on to grabbing this opportunity, Doctor.
Now, it's okay to grab any opportunity, but it should be to serve a customer. Never take any opportunity because somebody has told you that it's a good thing for you. It should be good for the customers. In other words, you are telling me to open a second branch. Will I make sales which are fully covered by the price I'm charging as of now to the customer? Or I'll start opening that glamorous outlet. There are no customers for whatever reason. Or it is fully served, and then you start adding a price for the sake of making even. If you do not add that price, what happens is every day it is open, it is losing money. Every day. Now, if you don't want to lose the money, in other words, to what extent have you appreciated the principle of break even? In other words, that outlet in its own right is able to exist within the next 6 months without the mother branch. Cover all the overheads, cover all the operational expenses without the mother branch. If that can go well, that's very good. If you pretend to continue running that because you don't want to be called you have failed, what are you doing? You are eating the mother branch. And it's a matter of time the customers will, your workers will tell you, but sir, that branch is making our shelves to become empty. That branch is making our customers to start saying we are not supplying them everything they need. 2 years down the line, you must go.
But after breaking through is not an event. It is a process.
That's why I talked of 6 months. I could have said you can break through, break even. In other words, cover all your costs in 1 month. If it is that very good, it can actually happen. But I said maybe it cannot be very good, so it can take 6 months. It could even take a year. The point is, it should be gradually getting there. You used to cover that branch almost 90%. After 2 months, it is now 70. After 4 months, you are now at 40. After 8 months, you are at 15. After a year, you are at 5. That's a beautiful story. Figures must never be ignored,
What
no
you're saying,
matter how good you become.
what you're saying, the Murwanas have done it, the BMKs have done it, and you seem to be in total disagreement. They've applied those principles, it has worked for them. They are nowhere to be seen, but their businesses are still thriving.
I want to say this, when it comes to that point number 4, what's number 4, number 3, unplanned growth?
What's number 3?
Unplanned diversification. It's the most tempting, the most attractive, because it sits at the heart of a person called a human being. If there be anything that every human being, you walk on the road, on the streets and you see them, one thing which is embedded in them by God, by nature, is recognition. Even the villager, even the person in a slum, it feels like if only could be recognized and called by name. Now, at the business scene, the moment you do not control the appetite for recognition, it eats you in a sweet, wonderful way without you feeling the pain.
What sort of recognition are you alluding to?
1, the bank has just told you, you can take 2 billion. You can give you $1 billion now. Open a second branch.
It's a good opportunity.
You're a good man. You're the only one who can do this. Why can't you open your branch in one day has done so well? Why can't you put another one in Bugolobi?
It's a good opportunity. Why not invest there?
And the Bugolobi person has got an outlet. Say, sir, it's you to occupy this floor. I've preserved it for you. Recognition has gone ahead of reasoning, ahead of logic, ahead of practical aspects. If you get others to drive you to make those decisions instead of you sitting and lying over those decisions over the night, over the week, over 4 months, recognition is eating you up. And it's the biggest driving factor for unproductive expansions and productive diversifications. And if you sat with that man who has failed, whichever name that you mention in business, at night they'll tell you, I went through my story and I knew that's the thing that ate me up. Why did I listen to the banker? I should have listened to my inner voice. I should have listened to my employees. I should have listened to my own customers. I thought the banker was meaning well. The banker had a target. They have a target of lending this portfolio for this sector.
Okay.
And you are the best bet. Do you blame the banker?
You don't.
You don't. He's doing his work. You also do yours. The banker is simply saying, I need good customers to be in the education sector. My portfolio for education sector this year is supposed to be 400 billion. I'm at 300. Who else have I not talked to? this man is good. His schools are doing well. What if he added a storied building in the current area? What if he bought another school? If he has no space.
What would I do in such? I am caught up in a conflicting reality. So what do I do as a business person?
As a business person, you know that it's not all about money to succeed in business.
Sure.
You ask the more logical things, ask yourself and say, in that particular area there, are there other competitors who have fully taken up that space? In other words, how long will it take you to break even in that place because of the existence of current players?
Those are questions you ask yourself later.
Ask yourself before you touch the bank money. Ask yourself before you book the space given by landlord.
But it's an opportunity for me to.
It is an opportunity. Who tells you that opportunities will die and disappear after today, after next week, after next year?
Some opportunities are timely.
Let me tell you this, and this is a good example. If you go to New York today, pick any avenue in New York, there's an opportunity for anybody to pick a plot of land there. All that matters is do you have the money.
Let's talk about Uganda.
Let's talk about Uganda and talk about Kampala Road. Anytime you want a plot of land in Kampala Road, today, you will get it.
Where?
Any, you pick any, like opposite post office. Opposite post office, you get a Sudan property there, not so. There's a new property that Sudan has put opposite post office. Or is that opposite post bank? I mean, Bank of Uganda. They will tell you, it is not on sale. You tell them, you know what, I'm putting down 10 million.
And you get the plot.
Oh, no, it is not on sale, but let me tell the boss. The 10 million sounds nice. The boss will say, did he tell you 10 million? That place, by the way, the going price is 7. Did he tell you 10 million? We're not selling it, but the price you have offered has made us to change a decision. Opportunities will always be there. What matters is your ability to back them with financial muscle.
Is another thing.
That's the most important. So let nobody ever get drowned because of the word opportunity. You've seen people go to their villages and they tell you, only you can buy this land. This opportunity will not come again.
Sometimes it's the fact.
It's a fact for that moment. But the moment you start coming back and say, you know, by the way, that opportunity of 10 years ago passed to me, now I want that land. They'll tell it is not on sale. Then you put a price. The conversation will begin to take place. By this man, we don't know why he wants to give us this abnormal price. With this money, we can actually buy land anywhere in Uganda. Why do we not give it to him? So opportunity can be created is the word.
Doctor, in your preamble, you talked about family vis-a-vis businesses.
Yeah.
And you encouraged business owners to engage their families. I have seen many businesses, as I talk right now, they've collapsed, and partly the contributing factor is engagement of family members into business.
Whereas statistics point to that direction and confirm your submission, the reality is why. Why is that the case? It is the case because, number one, you should recognize the fact that no business owned by a family knows family members. If that statement can be absorbed and interpreted properly, that's the starting point. You have a big school. This is school called X. It's serving community. And it's serving community so well because of so many factors. One, the good teachers. Two, the good content. Three, the great leadership. Four, the completeness of the way they deliver a student or a child. Now, that is why people are there. They are not there because so and so owns that school. They are not there now to bring those words as the additional things to feel proud about. But in reality, they are buying those qualities.
Doctor, we must be winding up. We can't finish this discussion just a short while. We must be winding up in about 30 seconds.
I want to say this. The moment people do not manage those aspects of success separating yourself from the business, getting yourself excited about unplanned expansion. The next death point that happens for every small or large enterprise is reckless, unplanned loans. The moment you are known, the moment you have been in the marketplace and you have done a good job, no banker worth their salt will fail to knock at your door. And the moment you are not able to assess that loan properly and ask yourself where you are taking it to, you are taking the final nail to sell your story in the private sector.
Doctor, thank you for speaking to us. I'm afraid
Thank you.
we'll be joining again on the other coffee court. This is where we ask the hard questions.
Okay.
Questions that matter. My name is Fred Makuya, and this is the Coffee Court.
Many solutions or many options, vast opportunities for you to reap success in your business. However hard life is, but there is a way you can strategize and see how you can make profits and how your business can grow and expand beyond the borders of Uganda. It is desirable for any other person out there. We all yearn to see things happening. We all yearn to ensure that our businesses grow bigger. We all yearn to accept the fact that business looks great when it grows far and beyond. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko, and that is it for the Coffee Code today. We take a short break. When I return, we have more from the SMB updates. Good morning.